6 a.m. to 10. 102.3 FM. Radio experience you can count on.
All right, 4 minutes gone past the hour of 7 on the AM side. Those beautiful but cold Friday morning. Well, all right, thank God it's Friday. The downpour early this morning, is probably the reason why the roads are somewhat deserted this morning. Because I was saying to myself, could it be today's a public holiday and I am not aware? I was really surprised that the roads were really, really kind of deserted. Not to say that there were no cars on the road, but not as it used to be. And I was just, like, okay. A number of people are probably singing, "Oh, Inatumo, see me at the catchy code." But please, don't, dare your boss, all right? It was quite a heavy downpour, I understand, and you probably want to, cuddle up, someone, your significant other, maybe your loved ones, and have a great rest, time resting rather, but don't take work for granted. You know that no work, no pay. You understand? That is how it is. No food for lazy man. Don't play with your work. Time now money, time now money. If you use the from heaven, do better thing, money go come. And the rest is history. Welcome on board. This is the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show right here on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. And we always, start your day the right way with the Eagles Morning Rise, the early morning booster that you need to kickstart your day. Well, the weather is somewhat cold, but come on, tune in right now. Tell your neighbor, tell your friend, tell your relatives to tune in. Join us online and other, platforms that we are actually hosting at this point in time. Join the conversation as we go engaging on the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. And I'm very, very sure that you might just see yourself sweating because, the story is making the rounds this morning, almost on a daily basis, by the way. Looking at Nigeria, you probably would have more than enough reasons to sweat. So if you're cold and you're looking for something to warm you up, this is just what you need to kickstart the day. My name is Omoife Peace Osemere. You can always call me Efe for short. And I'm sure in the course of the show, you definitely would find out other titles that I've been able to garner in such a short period of time. All right. So the Eagles Morning Rise is packed with a lot for your listening pleasure. We started off with the news, and this hour, we're going to be looking at 10 things that you need to know for today. And shortly after that, we'll take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. I see that a lot is still going on, across political parties in Nigeria, from the ADC endorsing two political figures, to dismissing some of the reservations making the rounds right now. We see state governors endorsing the President Bola Tinubu for 2027 and a host of others. I must tell you, the level of bickering at this point in time is something to chew on, right? And away from the political space, we have other happenings, across the health sector, the education sector, the agricultural sector, and, of course, the economy is still on the front burner at this point in time. We've seen the Manufacturers Association of Nigeria, expressing also their concerns with regards to the interest rate, whether or not we're actually maintaining the MPR or not. They are saying that, look, it doesn't look like we're making, headway. All right, the economic reforms are biting harder than some Nigerians had actually anticipated. But anyhow, that's just a glimpse of what is going on this morning. Well, you get to call in to share your 2 cents, like you always do. And after the pages, or you might want to call it the newspaper review, it'll be time for sports with Vicky Vic, the sports minister on radio, who's right there in Abeokuta. Anyhow, he's going to be reporting live from Abeokuta this morning, I believe. And that's just to let you know that we've got something for everyone on here, all right? And of course, at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m. this morning, you must forgive me. I'm sure that the code is doing the most with me right now. At 9 a.m., I will make a comeback, to talk politics and current affairs. Not really politics today. Okay, a little bit of politics. Well, yes, it could actually pass for a little bit of politics, but we're looking at this year's budget. will be made to understand that budget padding has happened again. Do you understand that? This is more like a tradition right now, almost every now and then in every administration, by the way. So some sort of very strong allegations have been made by budget, and they've actually prevailed on the president to do thorough background search, thorough investigation. Let us really maybe find a common ground to really see why this trend has continued unabated, really, because we understand that some projects that cannot even be justified, they have been included in the budget, and the tune that we're looking at here, we're looking at millions and billions of naira. So it says a lot. Is corruption ever going to leave the country, Nigeria? Well, time will tell, I believe. I'm going to be having a conversation with an economist at the 9 o'clock hour this morning to look at the implications of that, and of course, maybe chart the way forward, all right? And of course, at 10 a.m. this morning, what used to be the Midday Extra, no longer the Midday Extra, by the way, it's all part of the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show now. So at 10 o'clock, it'll be time for the General Open Banter. That is the Friday edition. You might want to call it the TGIF edition of the General Open Banter, where we discuss something very interesting, not too serious, but something that bothers on societal values. All right, as always, I don't have to let the cat out of the bag. That way, I'm able to keep you on the edges of your seat. So stay on this dial up until 10 a.m. and even 11 a.m. where we definitely will be focusing on the city of Abuja to see the latest update, what is going on and what is not going on in the nation's capital, Abuja. All of this, dear listener, will be accompanied with the very best of music because, come on, it's Friday. So let me quickly let you know that we have a strong presence across social media platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram, on TikTok, on X, formerly Twitter, all at Eagles FM Abuja. At the moment, this show is being streamed live on YouTube and Facebook. So I'd like to encourage you to join us across these platforms on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. You might want to leave a comment as well. I will be right here to acknowledge your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe to the YouTube channel. It's very important for you to also click on the notification bell. That way you get notified whenever we publish a video or content. All right, and we also are live on the app, the Eagles FM app. You can download it on the iOS or Play Store. That way you can listen to us from anywhere in the world, anytime, any day. With the online radio, the 24 hours reception, it is superb. You should take advantage of all of these platforms that we are hosting, because it is your radio experience that you can always count on, anytime, any day. The house has a nakwana to you all. Kuntashi Lahia. I'm sure the response would be Lahia Lo. And of course, the Yorubas will say Ekaro. The Igbos would say Otutuoma. And the Efiks and the Ibibios would say Amesiere. The Igalas in Kogi State would say Olodudu, right? And the Tiv or the TV, as a number of Nigerians, would like to call it, the TV, tribe in Benue State would say Ndeve, and the Untonko in Idoma of Ite. We're coming back to our host community now. They would say, the Baggies, as a matter of fact, would say Agife. Now, the people of Isoko in Delta State, Nigeria would say Emamuriakeo. And of course, the average man on the street would fondly say, Una, good morning, welcome, welcome, welcome on board. This is the Eagles Morning Rise Breakfast Show. Now, today is such a memorable day. It is the International Day to End Obstetric Fistula. Today is actually May 23rd, 2025. And the theme for this year's commemoration is Her Health, Her Right, Shaping a Future Without Fistula. So no woman or girl should have to endure obstetric fistula, and the devastating condition, which is caused by complications during childbirth, results in pain, isolation, and indignity, and yet is entirely preventable and treatable. So this year's theme, Her Health, Her Right, Shaping a Future Without Fistula, underscores a powerful truth that every woman and girl has the fundamental right to health, particularly sexual and reproductive health, and that the continued existence of obstetric fistula is a clear violation of that right. So ending fistula would improve maternal health and well-being overall, and it is also essential to achieving universal health coverage. All right, so to build a future free of fistula, we must to make informed decisions about their sexual and reproductive health. Thank you so much. All right. Now, let me quickly intimate you on 10 things that you need to know this Friday morning. The federal government has formally filed a 3-count criminal charge against Senator Natasha Akpoti-Uduaghan for allegedly defaming Senate President Godswill Akpabio and former Kogi State Governor Yahaya Bello. Now, the charges brought through the Office of the Attorney General of the Federation and Minister of Justice are contained in a suit number CR/1277/25. Well, I thought we've actually gone past this era, but here we are, still digging deep and even deeper, if you like. Now, governors elected on the platform of the All Progressives Congress have formally endorsed President Bola Ahmed Tinubu as their sole candidate for the 2027 presidential election. The endorsement came on Thursday during the APC National Summit at the State House Conference Center in Abuja. I recall very clearly also that my co-host Uduak Daniel had, asked family members on here which of these political parties would they naturally, endorse, and some people were saying, oh, they will support or they would endorse the ADC. Some are saying, oh, the Labour Party, that is LUP. Some are saying APC. Some are saying PDP, NNPP, APP, ABGA, what have you. But do you really think there's any difference between all of these political parties? It's just a political party with, different umbrella, different ideologies, but isn't it still the same, defecting from one to the other, especially when it suits them? All right, let's quickly go pay this bill. I'll be back in a short bit to wrap up the things that you need to know this morning. And shortly after, we'll take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. Do join us again.
Meet the Infinix Note 50 series, defined by pioneers who push boundaries. Its ultra-resilient armor alloy metal frame design gives you that slick, top-notch style. Unlock efficiency with intelligence of the one-tap Infinix AI and circle to search anything on your phone with Google. Need power in a flash? 90 watts fast charge rockets you from 0 to 100% in 38 minutes. Exclusive deals at authorized stores. Get your Note 50 now. The Infinix Note 50 series. Pro design, Pro AI.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, we are back, still looking at 10 things that you need to know for today. Very quickly, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu on Thursday pushed back against rising concerns that a wave of high-profile defections into the ruling All Progressives Congress may be steering Nigeria towards a one-party system, saying the defections are a reflection of the people's democratic choices and aspirations. Okay. All right. The Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, has assured that Phase 3 of the East-West Road, a 15-kilometer, 4-lane dual concrete road stretching 15 kilometers from Eleme to Onne in Rivers State, will be completed in December this the ongoing reconstruction of the road also promised that the Eleme axis of the road would be opened to the public in 10 days. And away from that one, Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals has announced another reduction of 15 naira in the price of its high-quality premium model spirit, popularly known as petrol. We just pray and hope that the filling stations would adjust their, accordingly. Now, President Bola Tinubu yesterday inaugurated the newly appointed board and executive members of a Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, that is NNPCL. The president inaugurated the team shortly before attending the All Progressives Congress National Summit at the banquet hall of the Presidential Villa, Abuja. And away from that one, over 13,543 terrorists and other criminal elements have been neutralized across Nigeria since May 2023. Over 13,543 terrorists and other criminal elements neutralized across the country since May 2023. All right. Now, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribado, disclosed on Thursday at the All Progressives Congress National Policy and Development Summit held at the State House Banquet Hall in Abuja. But is that to say that this administration is indeed, making progress, in the fight against insecurity and also criminality? All right. A United States District Court has sentenced a 37-year-old Nigerian, Henry Ezeonyido, to 27 months imprisonment. Insurance fraud. It was learned in a statement by the U.S. Department of Justice on Thursday that Ezeonyido perpetrated a fraud between October 2019 and February 2022. All right, former Vice President Atiku Abubakar has debunked speculation that he is planning to abandon the People's Democratic Party for the mega platform being proposed by the opposition coalition ahead of the 2027 election. The clarification was made by his media aide, Paul Ibe, when he featured Thursday's edition of a national television program. And the last thing we'd like you to know this morning is the fact that the crisis-rocking Labour Party took a fresh twist on Thursday when one of the four factional national chairman, Callistus Okafor, announced his exit from the party. Okafor, a former national vice chairman of LUP, broke the news at a press conference in Abuja. More defections are ahead, one would say, but that's just about it on 10 things that you need to know this morning. Now, very quickly, let us take a look at the front pages of Nigerian newspapers. All right. Okay. Let's start off with the Nation newspaper, and the big news story there, 2027 is the kicker. APC NWC, that is the All Progressives Congress National Working Committee, governors, federal lawmakers endorse Tinubu. President accepts sole candidacy and promises better days. All right, so inside the Nation newspaper, you find excerpts from this particular story. Wahi, Pate, Ribadu give scorecards. Defection should be driven by conviction, not convenience, says Ganduje. Take message to the grassroots. All right, you find details on the front page. It continues on page 2 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Federal government files criminal charges against suspended Senator Natasha Akpoti. A write underneath it says, Akpabio, Yahaya Bello to testify. Details on the front page, continues right on page 4 as well. And still on page 4, President seeks National Assembly's approval for 1.481 trillion naira reverse budget for the year 2025. That's on page 4 of the Nation newspaper this morning. Otedola is the kicker. Tinubu's Cardoso's policies revive investor confidence. All right. You find details on the front page. It continues on page 2, and we'll leave it there for the Nation newspaper. Very quickly, the Guardian newspaper is leading not too differently from the Nation because it leads with 2027 as the kicker. Opposition kicks as Tinubu hails defections APC endorsement. All right, that's the big news story, by the way, on the front page of the Guardian newspaper this morning. You find details on page 6. President submits 1.48 trillion naira reverse appropriation bill to Senate. You find details on page 29. The Patriots, Southwest stakeholders demand new federalism and equity. You find details on page 7. Vacate our lands before June. TIV Council tells herders. Vacate our lands before June. TIV Council tells herders. That's on page 30. When I say TIV, I'm not saying thieves. I mean TIV or TV. You understand? That's on page 30. And then moving to page 2, defect with me to APC or resign. Governor Eno tells cabinet. Defect with me to APC or resign. Governor Eno tells cabinet. Okay, now that actually speaks volumes. That's on page 2 of the Guardian newspaper this morning. 2027 still making the rounds. SDP's Adebayo rejects Atiku, may step down for Obi. You find details on page 3. Akpabio Bello may testify as federal government files criminal charges against Natasha. Details on page 30. Dangote slashes petrol price as independent marketers undercut price. Details on page 3. And I think that's just going to be about the size of the headlines. I will be taken from the Guardian newspaper this morning. Do it to grab a copy to get concrete details. The Punch newspaper is next. Well, it appears the national dailies are comparing notes or tabs this morning because we still see this one leading with 2027 election as the kicker. APC backs Tinubu. Opposition searches for strong competitors. Underneath that story, the first one says APC 22 governors declare Tinubu sole candidate for 2027 poll. Amechi Imoke head anti-Tinubu coalition committees. All right, details on page 2. Now, some Nigerians had actually come out to say that 2027 general elections is not going to be a race for the governors to decide, but the masses. But if we have a situation where 22 state governors under the platform of the All Progressives Congress, they are already endorsing the president for, as a sole candidate for 2027 poll. What does that tell you? All right, 52,000 Nigerians relocated to the UK in 2024. 52,000 Nigerians relocated to the UK in 2024. All right, you find details on page 7. There's probably going to be a breakdown to that effect, but when you grab a copy to get details, you definitely get sense of what we're faced with looking at the Japa syndrome right here in Nigeria. 52,000 Nigerians jackbuying or relocating to the UK in the past year. It says a lot, really. That's on page 7. 13,500 terrorists, others killed in 2 years. National Security Advisor talking there. You find details on page 2. Western oil firms exploited Nigeria's weak laws. This is coming from Jonathan. You find details on page 34. U.S. court jails Nigerian for $1 million scam. 4 and 5. Southwest governors roll out regional economic master plan. That's on page 10. And federal government directs AMCON to begin shutdown process. You find details on page 18 of the Punch newspaper this morning. I'll leave it there for the Punch. The Daily Trust newspaper is up next, and Tinubu's endorsement obviously still making the rounds. What Nigerians think? What do you think, family member, dear listener? What do you really think? Or what do you make of this, endorsement coming from the APC and 22 state governors? All right, you find details on pages 3, 4, and 5. That's definitely going to be a good read for you on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning. 1,593 Nigerians killed in road crashes in 3 months. 1,593 Nigerians killed in road crashes in 3 months. 2 riders. The first one says buses, trucks, trailers behind fatal road crashes. And the second rider says Nigeria tops accidents death chart in Africa. Nigeria tops the list in Africa as a continent. 1,593 Nigerians killed in road crashes in 3 months. Now, there is a breakdown to that effect on the front page of the Daily Trust newspaper. The regional analysis, in the Northwest, 32, in the Northeast, 7, North Central, 48, Southwest, 30. So people actually lost their lives in major auto crashes across 8 states within the first 2 months of this year. The total number of road crashes, in the first quarter of last year was 2,650, right? No, it was 2,650 and 2,674 in 2024. So that is a 0.9% decrease from the first quarter of last year. And the total number of people killed as of last year was 1,471. But this year, we're still 1,593 and still looking at the first quarter of the year. So it actually says a lot. Is it that the roads are not good, or the drivers are the ones just being reckless. You probably would have a good read, with that one. Also, you find details on page 6. And then assassination claim is the kicker. Federal government files criminal charges against Senator Natasha. That's on page 7. Despite 6-time price cuts by Dangote, petrol cost still high. So Dangote refinery has been able to cut down the price of fuel 6 times. And regardless, the price of petrol is still pretty high. Still very high, pretty much high. In Nigeria, you find details on page 19 of the Daily Trust newspaper. League of Northern Democrats back coalition against. Page 11. I'll leave it there for the Daily Trust newspaper. The Nigerian Tribune newspaper is up next, and still maintaining status quo. APC adopts Tinubu as sole candidate for 2027. Governors, National Assembly members endorse him at party's national summit. The second writer says, I am expecting more defections into ruling party. That is what the president is saying. It's quite optimistic there. You find details on page 6 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. CBN's retention of 27.5% NPR disappointing but logical, says Nasema chairman. All right, that's on page 13. And then federal government to inaugurate textile clusters in Lagos, agro-processing hubs in Kano. Details on page 14 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper. The Patriots National Constitution Summit is the kicker. Southwest delegates, others converge on Lagos. You find that one on page 6. And then Tinubu inaugurates NNPC board, tasks members with boosting oil output. That's on page 13, by the way. And Dangote refinery reduces petrol price again by 15 naira. That's on page 14. Tinubu seeks National Assembly's approval of 1.481 trillion naira 2025 reverse budget. Details on page 4. The last one here would be that the federal government files criminal charges against Natasha over assassination allegation. And that's on page 3 of the Nigerian Tribune newspaper this morning. Well, the headlines I was taken across the national dailies this morning. I'm actually left with the Vanguard, but time is not our friend, and nothing really different from what other national dailies are reporting, except for this one that you'll find on page 6 of the Vanguard. What we are doing to secure Nigeria. This is coming from Ribadu, all right? And on page 8, Boko Haram informant, we tackled insecurity. APC escalated it. This is coming from the People's Democratic Party. All right, so do want to grab a copy of any of these national dailies, dear listener, to get concrete details of the reviewed headlines and, of course, more stories making the rounds this morning. We go pay this bill, and we'll be back in a short bit to open the studio line for you to call in to share your 2 cents. Do join us again.
Abuja, you're in luck. It's the upgrade promo from my Abuja Home Limited. For their Broadwater estate and plots in Gwagwalada, get 250 square meter for just 700k when you make an outright payment. That's a whopping 81% discount, or go premium with 500 square meters for only 1 million naira. That's 80% of the original price of 5 million naira. With our authentic FCT land document, you have no issues at all. We have a flexible payment plan for up to 12 months for your convenience. Get your land in Broadwater Estate, Paiko, Gwagwalada now, with green environment, accessible roads, power supply, guaranteed security, and lots more. Call or WhatsApp my Abuja Home on 0808 883 7426, 0808 7426, or 0808 272 3824, 0808 272 3824. Hurry now, promo ends soon. These opportunities also open to military personnel. My Abuja Home Limited. Affordable. Live the life.
Sorry for the inconvenience.
I suppose it was inevitable. Eagles 102.3.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. If you're just joining us, this is the pages. You might want to call it the newspaper review, live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja, your radio experience that you can always count on. Now the studio lines are opened, and I'll quickly hand down the numbers: 09073530044 or 09087668888. These are the numbers to call. You can send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number, and that is 090970544 and 50. Please, when you call in to share your thought, do well to stay civil, avoid the use of vulgar language, and stick to the headlines making the rounds this morning. Please, rounds this morning. If you must lay claims, make sure, if you like, that those claims are nothing but the truth. And if they cannot be substantiated, I'm afraid you will be yanked off the studio line, because there's been, this gross, a misinformation going on right here, as will be made to understand by some family members. And going forward, we're going to wear the big stick and treat everyone, accordingly. So let's do the right thing. All right, stay civil. Don't forget to turn down the volume of your radio set, and let's get a conversation started already. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, GB. Good to have you.
Good morning, my sister. How are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm calling from that camp.
All right, please go ahead.
Yes, APC endorsed Tinubu for second term. And these have been having traction, and some people are offended. They are quarreling. Why should they? It's a party affair. It's a party matter. Nigeria will decide. Just as PDP said, they say APC part of Nigeria. Yes. So APC can do whatever they like in their party. The Nigerians, millions of Nigerians will decide who will be the governor, or the president, or senate in the next 2 years. So we should not have a beef because APC is doing internal work. It's their work. It's their plan.
Okay.
Then the governor of our Bible saying he's going to APC, and that whoever does not want to go with him should have from his cabinet. That is his own decision. Like somebody say I'm the campaign. It is right to the camp. I mean, people should not start insulting and calling names or say what it's a one-party state. When people are coming for coalition and merger, nobody say what are they doing. But then as people at the campaign party, say one party say no. Let them go and join the party. We should not see that APC is having one party state to form its own party or go and join a party. So that it's not a one party state. Politicians are doing whatever they want to do. It's their work, their politicians have whatever to do. Nigeria will decide who will be the president of Nigeria in the next 1.5 years.
Okay.
That is our own to decide who will be the Nigeria. Politicians, continue whatever you are doing. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, GB, for your contribution right there. Hello, good morning to you, Abdul.
Hello, good morning. This is Abdul calling from Suleja, Niger State.
Good to have you, Abdul.
As you did this morning.
Yes, very well, thank you.
Sure. I want to use this opportunity to greet all the callers and the listeners, especially my friend Salasi.
Yes, please.
All the time we read it in the news. Dangote have reduced fuel price. Dangote have reduced fuel price. But we not see the impact in the filling station. Last time I said maybe what Dangote will do is to have its own filling station. Or maybe people should subscribe to Dangote just like the NNPC. So that this fuel will be coming direct from Dangote. The price also will reduce in the petrol station.
Yes.
I concur with you about the political parties. It's only the platform. All of them, they are great people. They are fighting for their own selfish interests. You see, any party you think you will favor you, that's where you will go to.
Okay.
God bless Nigeria. God bless Eagle FM. Bye.
Thank you very much, Abdul, for your contribution. And might I also add Jumad Mubarak to you, all right, and to our Muslim family members, all right? Call in. Let's hear from you. Hello, good morning to you.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from?
Good morning. My name is Chinese. I'm calling from Asokoro.
All right, please go ahead.
Thank you. The issue of insecurity or party defection is not new. like I keep telling people, when you have criminals awaiting trial, you mix them together. But once you have criminals that are condemned, they are separated. So if somebody is suspecting much defection to their ship, I want to tell them their ship is already on stormy waters, and those defections will make them to sink, and that ship will politically drown all of them. It's unfortunate that this is what we are getting in Nigeria. But like I said, 2027 is not 2015, neither will it be 2023. Grab it, fill it out. If you grab it, we take it from you. If you run with it, we will stop you, and you will be lucky. If whatever they have been, I don't use the word blame on them. It's a matter of time. They are out of power.
Okay.
Let them go to anywhere. They are out of power. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Chimezie, for your contribution this morning. All right, and
Good morning, Amoise.
yes, good to have you.
And good morning to our dear family members
Right.
and listeners. Felix from Lambata.
Right.
Amoise,
Yes, please.
Nigerian politicians are the same.
Okay.
We should not weep and cringe for them anymore. They are all the same, whether PDP, PC, or whatever. So if they decide to form one political party, Nigerians against politicians, and we just pray that God will have mercy upon us. No, the defection has been long expected. So finally, he has taken the bow into the political party of his choice, APC. But he should not compel others to do things. Because that's what happened in Delta State, and they're having problem with that. Allow people to make their choice as well. Whether that's Nigeria to become one political party system or not, it's not our business.
Okay.
All we need is good governance,
Right.
and the dividends of democracy. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Frank. Felix, I beg your pardon for your contribution this morning. Hello. Oh, good to have you this morning. Please go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. The defection, everybody going to ATC. One thing I keep on asking you, is this not the same APC that we are trying that things are hard? Has been another different APC? Or is this not the same APC that our president said first subsidy is gone? We have not recovered up to now. Insecurity, hunger, everything. We protest, they don't protest, all these things. So I just want to ask you a question. Is there any magic or miracle we are expecting different, or is going to happen when everybody trooped into the same APC? Anyway, I am still watching and waiting,
Okay.
because if this president or APC coming, then that is to say, you can't convince me that there's a country nation for this country. If different APC should come back in power again with this hunger, with this insecurity. So anyway, I am still waiting for that same Nigeria. But if like this one where I know where we dey inside, APC is not coming back. No matter how magic or whatever they use, they are not coming back, because we cannot continue this way.
Okay.
Another African country. I heard Mr. President mentioning Nigeria. I disagree with him. Nigeria is never. How can we be giant of Africa and this hunger? Giant of hunger, no giant of Africa.
Okay,
God bless you, my sister.
Hope you have your PVC.
There's never any election where pass me since
Okay.
since the day they started to see it.
All right.
Say my own.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just to call you for it and tell you.
All right.
I can't do them. No, they ever miss my vote.
Thank you very much. Hello, good morning to you, Moses.
Good morning, Namaste.
Right, good to have you this morning.
We missed you some of these days. I asked you yesterday.
Thank you.
Yeah. You are welcome.
Thank you very much, Moses.
So, APC governors and others and those people. Well, the problem of this country is fairness. As somebody will say, we'll use PVC to vote them out. Will our hope be count? That is where the challenge is. Nigerian politics is money.
They use money to deceive the masses. As people are talking now, wait, let that time come on my face. When they begin to see salt, they begin to see coins, begin to receive food, they will change their mind. Is it not in this country political play game where you know that if they will have upper hand in one, they will send talks to go and stop the election? What have they done with them? There is no fairness.
Okay.
So if they are saying that they have endorsed, and we say want to vote out, how possible that it will be? How much do we even have to campaign? How much do we even have to go? So they are the one on top.
Okay.
Yeah, they are. So except by His grace and God intervention, who can put one on the throne and who can dethrone?
Okay.
It's on God. So if our PVC will speak and people will stand on their vote without receiving peanut to sell out their vote, then the change you are talking about or whatever you demand will come to pass.
All right.
Well, the Lord will help us.
Amen.
Then Dangote, I want to thank Dangote for bringing down the price. In fact, that is what we should be praying for. The Lord will help that man.
Right.
If other price will fall like that, not only Dangote price, let other price of other commodities come down.
Okay.
Thank you for the good job you are doing.
Thank you very much,
God bless
Moses.
you.
Thank you and happy Friday to you. Hello, good morning. Good morning. What's your name and where you're calling from? What's your name? Okay, the man Austin. Welcome on board. Okay. Okay.
I want to put a talk on the case between federal government and my pastor now. Well, I saw it between Akpabio and Yahaya. I did not captain matter themselves. Why the federal government? I need the truth.
Okay, Mano, is it possible for you to call us back? I don't know. The reception is quite poor. I can barely, get sense of the point you're making. Please.
Okay.
Or better still, send a voice note or a message, all right? That works also. 09073530044 or 09087668888 are the numbers to call this morning. This is the Pages or newspaper review live on Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja. Don't forget to join us live on YouTube and Facebook at Eagles FM Abuja. Join the conversation. Hello, good morning. Hello. All right, now that's a miss. Please do what to call back. All right. So very quickly, I see some comments on the Facebook page. I see this one from Oza Francis Omaga Namani. Says, watching you live from Amagunze in Enugu State. Good morning. Thank God it's Friday. Yes, keep up the good work. And the reps should focus on how to get our electoral process well reformed to make our votes count rather than making voting compulsory in Nigeria. That's what Oza Francis Namani is saying. Thank you so much. As Ajia Gimbia, aka the Radio Princess, as usual, watching you live from National Assembly quarters. Good morning, Gaskia. You understand Hausa very well. Lele, come. Thank you. He says, please, where is Mr. Yudi? Yudi is fine. You'll hear from him later today. Suleiman Dan Fulani from National Assembly quarters. Thank you so much for your contribution this morning. Right, and moving very quickly now to the WhatsApp portal number or the platform. All right, Samia from Kuje says, good morning to you, my sister, Princess Adeze Omoefe 1. Thank you. Congratulations and welcome to another new day. Absolutely. Now, the issues of governance seems to be a forgotten matter. The politicians are busy fighting for 2027 and they have abandoned the issues of governance. The people that are being killed by the terrorists and the ones that are being kidnapped by the kidnappers doesn't even matter to them. Kai, Nigeria, who did this to us and how did we get here? God, please help us and deliver us from self-inflicted anarchy. In Jesus' name, amen. Have a great and safe Friday. Thank you so much, Samuel, for your contribution. And I see this one from Tariki Bihundu. He says, good morning, Efe. I'm in Nasarawa State. Good morning to you. I am in support of ultimatum given to herdsmen to leave latest, June by the Chief Council. You mean? It says there is no need to continue accommodating a visitor who is, now an enemy. Now, these people are very brutal. They are wicked and they are merciless. They killed both women and children. They opened the belly of pregnant. The federal government has not been serious about stopping herdsmen from carrying out this, heinous crimes. Why can't herdsmen, owners of cows, embrace ranching for once? On decamping of politicians to APC and endorsement, this is not going to save Tinubu from the hands of suffering Nigerians who are battered by his bad policies and worsening insecurity. Politicians planning to write results should think twice. That's what Tariki Mihundu is saying. Thank you so much for that message, Tariki Mihundu. So I see a couple of voice notes or messages that we have on the WhatsApp portal right now. I'm just going to put a pause to the voice calls. Let us quickly exhaust the contributions that we have on the WhatsApp portal before we go any further. All right, I see this one from Usman Daura. Usman, good morning.
Federal government filed criminal charges against Good morning, Usman Daura is my name from.
Right.
The federal government filed criminal charges against Natasha Akpoti for what? For expressing herself, for refusing to be intimidated by governments, for exposing the Senate president or taking him to court, for suing him. They have sued criminal charges against her. For what? For defaming Senate President Yahya Bello, that has a pending case at the EFCC of embezzlement, allegedly. What kind of government is this? This shameless government. What kind of people? Most of the evidence you are true. You want to do to one party system? I had the president saying that he's comfortable. More should come. The door is open. People are living the sinking ship. AP is the sinking ship. It's unfortunate the way we are going in this country. Most of it to be about APC. What kind of government is this? Intimidating people, harassing people, suing people. At the same time, look at insecurity, look at poverty, suffering. Nothing is working in this country. Once you talk about it, they'll come after you. So shameless. What kind of thing is this? What do we do? So nobody should talk. Once you don't belong to them, you should not talk. Nobody should talk. It's all right. It's unfortunate. No problem. Nigeria will decide what to do at the end of the day. Bye.
Thank you, Usman. All right. I see this one also. Good morning.
Good morning, Omo Efe. My name is Triple D from Waru.
Triple D, good morning.
And I say greetings to all callers and listeners in the name of Jesus, my elder brother Salasi. My name is Triple D from Waru. Please, Omo Efe, this coalition of a team, these political parties that are coming together, did they even build their home properly before coming together to form a coalition? Look at PDP divided, Labour divided, NNPP divided, LP divided, ABGA divided, and they want to form a coalition. They are just struggling to get their own self. They are not really for Nigeria. Look at killings everywhere. People are killing, no peace. IDP everywhere, and governors are talking about endorsement. If Nigerian masses know what they want, coalition will not work. Remember, 2027 is in the hand of God. Before then, Nigeria will get it right. Good morning, Eagles FM. Good morning, Nigeria.
Triple D, thank you so much. And I'd like to share any optimism that we'll get it rightly someday. Sooner or later. Bibi Blessing is right here as well. Good morning to you, Bibi Blessing.
Hello, one more FM, my sister. Good morning, sir. This morning, Bibi Blessing. Let me just make ourselves be happy this morning. I laugh. Hey, my name is David Dan. You never see the clear IPC. I don't understand. I don't know what you are waiting for. You never see the IPC food today now. I greet my daddy, a man of Matthew Salesa. I greet everybody. Oh, now my daddy. God will bless them. The pocket where they put hand to make call every day. Their pocket will no longer down. And I pray for them. I pray for them today. They will know no sorrow. They will know no sickness. Was mercy, our way will be hopeful. Thank you, welcome. So I greet everybody. May they not give up. As we they come, make sure election time we go and vote. You now can see Abuja is full up now for meeting. Here and there, how they go take get 2027. We are busy burning our credit. If our results can cut. I know say they cut. Oh, that is why people they are declared IPC because my IPC now full today. I'm say bye bye. Have a good day and a cheap day. Bye.
Bibi Blessing, thank you so much for that voice note. All right, Udwak Daniel, you've been called out by Bibi Blessing. I mean, I'm not even aware of this whole arrangement, whether you plan on defecting to the APC. I thought you were just a professional, journalist, but I mean, that's on a lighter note. No, let's not make a storm in the teacup over that. I also see this voice note, but I'm afraid I won't, take it. Right. Okay, so I think we can actually still accommodate one or two, voice calls before we wrap things up this morning. So quickly hand down the studio lines again: 09073530044 or 09087668888 are the numbers to call. Send a voice note or a message to the WhatsApp portal number on 09097054450. This is the Pages, you might want to call it the newspaper review, and still looking at stories making the rounds this morning. We go pay this bill. We'll be back in a short bit. Do join us again.
Defined by pioneers who push boundaries, its ultra-resilient armor alloy metal frame design gives you that slick, top-notch style. Unlock efficiency with intelligence of the one-tap Infinix AI and circle to search anything on your phone with Google. Need power in a flash? 90 watts fast charge rockets you from 0 to 100% in 38 minutes. Exclusive deals at authorized stores. Get your Note 50 now. The Infinix Note 50 series. Pro design, pro AI.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for staying with us. I see this voice note from Honorable Edward from Apo. Good morning to you, Honorable.
Good morning. My name is Honorable Edward from Apo.
Right.
Yes, I want to talk about the budget padding that you mentioned. In law, National Assembly has the right to decrease and increase any budget presented to them. Our own understanding will go forward that if any project that is cited in the budget after presentation for the president should be monitored to report of implementations. I think that's where we're going wrong. If a member or senator has project in the budget, make sure that project is implemented. That's how we should start going through the budget to know what we have in our constituencies and if it's actually implemented. Ministries are also our major problem. Ask INEC whether they are not budgeting money for each and every voter. And do you know how many people that die? In my family, I can tell you some people die even this year. Fear is my key a lot. They will see do the budget on their head. You can imagine the corruption. So this is the thing. We are not validate the register. They are not doing it. This is the problem we have. Benue Traditional Council ask them to leave us. We want to them. If the family is saying they are not, good, no problem. Thank you and God bless you.
Okay, thank you very much for that voice note, Honorable Edward. But I'd like to encourage you, right, and the listener also out there to join us at the 9 o'clock hour this morning to talk very extensively on this budget padding issue, looking at how Nigerian lawmakers padded 2025 budget with projects worth 6.9 trillion naira. Now, this is according to a report. So we're going to be discussing this with an economist at the 9 o'clock hour, looking at the massive projects, insertion by some of these lawmakers. And some of these projects have been tagged questionable projects or redundant projects. All right. So if you think that it is just okay for the National Assembly to decrease and increase, is that constitutional? We'll find out at the 9 o'clock hour, so do what to join us at that time. I'm afraid we just have to leave the conversation here now because of time. I see more calls coming in, but sincere apologies. Let us leave it here because of time, all right? I'd like to say a very big thank you to each and every one of you, those who called in, those who sent in voice notes and messages, those who engaged us on the Facebook page. Thank you all so much for keeping us company. And to those who just sat back to, listen and have a jolly ride with us on the pages this morning, thank you for spending part of your time with us. I'd like to state very clearly that the views expressed on the pages this morning were not influenced by Eagles FM